So, for example, as opposed to say a buy and hold diversified portfolio of American companies, if you held it for more than 10 years, you pretty much almost always made money. Like your odds of losing money or losing everything or whatever people worry about, that's pretty much 0%, right? So that's easy. Or if you sell a stock option, you buy shares of stock, you pick an out of the money strike price, you sell the option, you get the income. Very simple, very straightforward. Those tend to be my favorites because it's simple and I know it's going to work. Whereas when you talk about investing in foreign currency, it does become much more speculative, and you're picking a side without really knowing which side is going to win, right? So in terms of it being a
Okay.
long-term consistent wealth builder or a consistent income driver, foreign currency is not that. However, if you have a thesis, like if you just feel like for example, I have people that believe that the dollar is going to keep declining and stuff like that. Well, there's a strategy for that for sure. Or maybe they believe a certain country's currency is going to get stronger over time. You can certainly invest in that for sure. I personally don't, but there is a pathway to do that for sure.
Okay, now, if someone only has like $500 to start investing in stock options, what would you suggest to do or
I
how to start?
personally okay. Well, I personally with $500, I wouldn't try to sell options with $500. I think 5,000 is a better place to start. And then using margin at that. So it is more of a the idea of generating income from options. It's a little bit like real estate, except the buildings don't cost as much. So so you can buy an asset for 10, $20,000 and literally charge almost like charge rent for it and generate consistent income. But if you have no building, then it's hard to charge rent, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
I would probably put my energy into the first step of getting the capital base and learning the skill set, and
That's what
then
I'm
later
doing.
on, then experimenting with the selling of options. Because with $500, it's easier to get on the buy side or the more speculative side. But that's the side that, again, you're taking on risk, and if things work out, you make money. If they don't work out, then you don't. And that's not really my favorite side. I
Right.
like to keep my money. I'm a
Me
more
too.
my bias is more conservative. Yeah, but still, though, I think that's always a possibility too. But I would also say that if you're in that situation where your capital base isn't what you want it to be, then there's basically simple two or three simple ways to build a capital base. One is you build it, which that's the best approach. Take time, save, invest over time, and then you get your assets. You got your home equity, you got your stocks, stuff like that. If you can't do that, then the next option is to borrow it, maybe with a home equity loan or something like that. Credit card loans, I think, are a little bit too risky because the interest rate's so high.
Right.
And the third one might be partnering with other people, maybe in the family, and saying, "Hey, let's get together as a family." So the same way you start a family business, right?